There is a very interesting topic that happened this weekend. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about Armada and Maki tweeting about some situations that happened to them, and both of them are arising from, like, massive hate, for what I understood, right? From Armada, for those who don't know, before I started playing Ultimate competitively, I was actually a Melee spectator. Well, back then it was Melee and Smash 4. But I spectated Melee a little more than Smash 4 at the beginning, then later on I started spectating Smash 4 a bit more. I got to see a lot of the hate that Armada got back in the day when he used to compete. And, yeah, he did receive quite a bit of hate. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about either, regarding the tweets, this is what I'm talking about. So this right here is Armada's tweet. Well, saying my tweets. Starting off with this one, which said, I'm not one for resolutions, but during this year, I will try harder to like and appreciate the love I put into things and hopefully what it might mean to some. I never was a fast learner, but with SM64, I hope I can inspire more people because trust me, I won't give up. To this, he then quote retweeted saying, part of this is my exit with Melee. During a long time, my exit towards it was great. It changed when tons of lies happened and dead wishes, etc. followed only due to these lies. It was worse when it felt like these lies were spread and taken as truth. With this said, I hope that with SM64, I have found a new home and people appreciate what I do. I'm gonna try my best to push SM64 moving forward. To which then, yeah, this guy. He was like, the way you're wording this is making me so mad on so many levels. LMAO! The Melee community adores you. You probably had some haters and some Omega internet shitters like most top players, but the SM64 community will never love you the way we do. Pussy. The point is that reading this, and even Armada tweeted it, it was like, the way you word this should hurt everyone. I agree, dude. Like, dude. See, okay, I'm going to get to my perspective in a bit, but basically, if you haven't gone through something like that, like through massive hate, or like death threats, or like people discrediting your work in the Smash scene, it's easy to put it this way, right? And now, don't get me wrong, people do love Armada right now. Wanna know why? Because he fucking retired. So what he has left in Melee now is a legacy. He is remembered as one of the best players in the world for a while, one of the GOATs, one of the gods of Melee. He's remembered like that now because, again, he's retired. So now all that he has left in Melee is a legacy. So people are going to remember him properly because of that. But let me tell you, if he continued competing to this day, my man would get a ton of hate. Like, the same amount of hate that he was getting back when he competed, that would be the same level of hate he would be getting right now. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, that I could so be wrong on this, so don't quote me on this. But I do remember that one of the reasons why Armada dropped Melee or quit Melee was mainly because of the hate he got and because he just didn't feel the same when competing. And by feeling the same, we can probably give that the meaning of like him not feeling the same motivation, him not feeling the same happiness, the same satisfaction. I don't know. Competing is a world of its own, and if you're not feeling the same way, yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah. You're gonna feel that way, right? After this, because of the response he got, I'm assuming it was definitely because of this. Because back when Armada tweeted this tweet had 700 likes. When I liked it, it had 700 likes, and this shit was already at like 1100. So he was getting ratioed. I assume that's why he wanted to give his perspective as to why he tweeted it. Which, thank God, it has 6k likes. Thank God it has 1 million people seeing it. It's important, man. It's fucking important. And he basically, if you haven't read the tweet longer, he apologizes for some stuff. Not exactly apologize, or I mean, yeah, but he admits that while he did do wrong in some areas or whatever, maybe disrespect someone while competing or something like that, he grew from that. He did mention a couple of things regarding Mango, which I'm not going to go through because in my opinion, that has to do more between them two. But what I will say about that is that falls under one of the few things that I wanted to talk about, which was people who have a large follower base. I'm a boomer. in the body of a 22-year-old. I'm sorry. Well, whatever. You get my point. People with lots of followers, whenever they spread hate, I don't think they are fully aware of what they're doing, right? I don't think they are fully aware of the things they are going to make people do. And you might be saying, well, that's not their responsibility. And it isn't. Because, like, at the end of the day, people also have a brain, or I hope they do. Some look like they don't. And should judge whether saying things is good or bad. But at the end of the day, some followers are just, from certain people, are just sheep. Whatever their idol says, whatever their idol thinks, whatever this figure that they so worship says or does, they will do and say the same things just because they adore that one figure. Well, that's the first part. This is from Armada. The next one is from Maki, which is a little more. 12k likes. 600k people saw it. So let's take a look. I never talked about it, but I tried to kill myself a year ago today. Though I was too scared to actually follow through with it, a few weeks after that, somehow I had the best tournament of my life at LACS. I gave half of my winnings away to my shitty family just to have them ghost me after. Then a large chunk of the community acted like that tournament didn't mean anything, and I still hear it to this day. And honestly, it fucking sucks. And it, yeah. Again, people discrediting players. I've had a hard time with people acting like I have never been able to actually prove myself despite truly feeling like I have in a lot of ways. And I've spent most of my year trying to cope with what I think. It's been hard to have motivation at all this past year, and it's hard not to feel bitter about a lot of things. I've spent more nights shit-faced drunk this year than sober, and I really want to work to change that, though it'll be hard. When I joined the community, I used to want to be the best player, but I think that has long surpassed me. Oh man, I can so... I feel that. Other than being a better content creator, my main goal in 2023 is to win a major because deep down I know I can. Thank you to everyone who's shown me support this year. It has been the best year for me, but I have been slowly figuring it out and have high hopes for this next year. Disclaimer, Nintendo can suck my cock and Dr. Allen can lick my balls. Fuck Nintendo in the chat, please. Comment section, if you're watching this on YouTube, in the comment section, please reply with fuck Nintendo. I would greatly appreciate it. So yeah, dude. As you can see, that's 2 players now tweeting about it on actually the same day. Or almost the same day. Yeah. This guy tweeted he tweeted, Armada tweeted his stuff on January 1st as well. But then he addressed and explained or elaborated more on them the day after. What the fuck is up with the Smash community sometimes, man? Now, I wanted to address this because this is actually a topic that affected me. And to this day, affects me too, and I share a lot of what these two feel and think like because of it. For those who follow my stream, I have talked about it before. I've even cried on stream before. It's a rough topic to talk about because it's heartbreaking for me. Like, to me, that's what it feels like, right? I'd speak about it because I have been wanting to do it, but I was scared to talk about it, and mainly it's because of stuff like this. Now, Armada in his tweet longer, something he also says is like people making narratives about him, how yeah, no, you don't actually get hate, you're just thinking that, you're just making ideas on your head about it, right? Like, those type of things are what make you even second guess, dude, am I going crazy, or am I just focusing on the negative stuff? But at the end of the day, to be honest, all those replies are literally just gaslighting. You know, what you go through as a top player. You know, if you actually get more hate or more love from the people on simple sight. You can fucking see it. And even the public can fucking see it. But the reason why I want to talk about this is because, well, as you may know, well, for those who don't know me, or maybe this is the first time you hear about me or something, I'm a Maister. I am a professional Smash Ultimate player. I've been top 10 for 3 years in a row. And when I started getting good at this game, the first response I had from the 70% of the community, or even more than that, was that I was carried, that I didn't deserve to get the placements I was getting. When I qualified for Summit, beating a bunch of top 10/top 15 PGR players, people were like, no, you don't deserve to go to Summit. And it has affected me in a bunch of ways. The first one being, yes, I've been very depressed throughout the last years, the last couple of years. Throughout 2019, I used to not care about it too much. I was just doing my thing, minding my own business. In theory, I was a kid. I had just turned 19, so I didn't really give a shit. And it's like Armada says, right? Like, it feels more personal because unfortunately, Smash as an esport is an esport that compared to others, Smash involves a lot of interacting with your fans, you know? And I say unfortunately because it leads to stuff like this. Like, if the community is toxic, then it'll lead to stuff like this. If the community were more positive in general, then it wouldn't be as bad. Like, don't get me wrong, I like to meet people. I like to meet my fans. I like to take pictures with my fans. I like to give them a autograph. I like signing plushies, whatever, right? I love doing all that stuff. But I won't lie when I tell you that every tournament I go to, a lot of the people that come up to me and talk to me are very mean to me or are very rude, bro. Like, for example, one of them, when I went to MomoCon, one of them was like, "Oh, Maister, so we're going to play in bracket." And I was like, "Oh, that's really cool, man." He was like, "Yeah, you're in my pool." He was like, "Hey, can I go Sora so I can beat your ass?" And then he started like laughing, and I just stared at him like, "What's so funny?" And he said, "Oh, no, nothing. Well, it's just your Sora." "Yeah, you know what I mean, right?" And I was like, "I literally don't know what you mean, man." And he was like, "Well, yeah, well, anyways, hopefully we play in bracket." The dude got upset. It didn't even fucking matter at the end. But see, that kind of stuff is like, why would you say that? It's so fucking unnecessary, dude. It ain't Twitter in the real world, bro. And unless if you're gonna shit talk like that guy, for example, at least make it to me in bracket first, bro. Like, that guy was like so fucking stupid, right? Stuff like that, for example. Well, going back a little bit to what I was talking about, like early 2019. 2019, I really didn't give a shit. Like I said, I made some corny tweets, I made some mistakes and whatever. The problem with the Smash community is that they're so square, bro. Like, you know what I mean? They think about things in one way, and you're not getting them off from that. Like, if people think, for example, Mega Man is lame, right? You're not gonna change your mind. Like, it's just gonna stay like that, and that's it. People think that player is carried. You're not gonna get them off from that ever, no matter what they do, man. So that was in 2019. Then 2020 happened. Throughout all the hate I have gotten, I have heard literally everything. Meister's carried. Meister sucks. Meister doesn't deserve this. Meister doesn't deserve that. This guy's better than Meister. It's so tiring, bro. It's so exhausting to the point where, like, it makes you feel like what Maki is saying here. It's been hard to have motivation all this past year, and it's hard to not feel bitter about a lot of things. Like, I still remember how a lot of people made fun of me. I still remember how a lot of people ridiculized me. People, like, for example, at MomoCon, when I was fighting Tweak, the crowd chanting Meister chokes these when, like, Tweak was about to, like, reverse 3-stock me. I ended up winning that game or whatever. Or, like, the crowd booing me at MomoCon when I was fighting Didi. Like, I remember a lot of stuff, bro. I remember a lot of stuff, and it's hard not to feel bitter about it. Yeah, because, like, I haven't gotten into controversy in a while. I know I have before, but I haven't gotten into controversy in, like, at least a year and a half, maybe even 2. Another thing I won't forget is, like, when I beat Leo's Corrin at Colossal, I beat him, and people, the first thing they were saying were like, "Oh, yeah, it doesn't count because he was using Corrin." But, like, legit, most of the people were saying that, dude. It's been rough, dude, like, keeping up with the hate, because, like, to me, it has affected me in a lot of ways. I can't have any accomplishments, because I'll get more hate than praising for them. I cannot, even if I were to win a tournament, for example, like, people are always on my ass of like, "Oh, you have never won a major, Meister. Ha ha ha, so funny, right?" It's like, people forget that also, the tournaments I have placed second to, besides one tournament, I have only lost to MKLeo in grand finals. And Mars, which are 2 of my bracket demons. Like, it's not like I'm losing to, like, I don't fucking know, like, some random, you know? Every time, I even tweeted about it once, I remember. Like, what should I do better? And literally a lot of replies were just, stop maining Game & Watch. It's like, is it really just because of that? You're not seeing past the fucking page, dude. And it does get me pretty mad. And it's also the reason why I agree with what Armada is saying here, right? Like Armada, with what he said in his past tweets, like this one, where he says like, I hope with SM64 I have found a new home. I've tried to do the same fucking thing, dude. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Smash and everything. And again, there's probably gonna be people like this one guy here, where they're gonna be like, oh, that's not true. A lot of people like you. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people like me, yeah, but let's be honest, more people hate me, and that's the reality of things. My Metafy doesn't do too great sometimes because of it. Because even people were like, oh no, what are you gonna teach me? How to up B downer? It's like, whatever, man. For those who trust my coaching, by the way, I know there's a couple of you in the chat. Thank you all so much. Like, I really do appreciate it. I feel like I'm a really good coach too, and I hate to see people put it down by saying stuff like that, right? Either way, this is how it has affected me. I just wanted to address that at the time. I am trying to find a new home as well. I'm not saying I'm gonna quit Smash this year, or the next year, or the year after that as well. Like, it's a matter of, like, literally who knows, dude. All I'm gonna tell you guys is that, yes, Smash is still my main focus. I have put my everything into this community. And just like Maki said here at the beginning, I also wanted to be the best player in the world at the beginning, dude. Right now, that feeling has also surpassed me, dude. I don't have that hunger. I don't have that vision anymore, dude. Like, all I care about is literally what he tweeted about as well. Like, winning a major. I want to win a major, too. Because I don't want to retire without winning a major. This also doesn't mean that if I win a major this year, I will retire immediately. But you know what I mean. So, yeah. I've been very depressed, too. Lastly, that's what I want to share. I've been very sad. You guys might have noticed that I'm also not streaming too often anymore. That's because of that. Because some days I just wake up and I just go like, why would I even bother streaming? No one even watches me, dude. It's never easy for me to turn on my stream. So yeah. And yeah, it's that. And then I'm not gonna lie, with Mia, this is a topic that I've gotten asked about very often. I have a YouTube video on it, but it doesn't really address it. Mia, I don't hate Mia. I'm glad that there is another Game & Watch. But what I don't like about Mia being here now is it doesn't exactly have to do with him, but it has to do with like the response the community has had towards me, where people are like, "Oh, yeah, he's so much better. Like, his results are on par with Maister's. Like, yeah. See, that's another thing of like people discrediting my work. Because like Mia has won tournaments in Japan versus players that I have also beaten. And players that I also have a positive record on, like Proto Banham, like Shuton, like Kameme. Actually, with Kameme, I think I'm 1-1, but you get my point. Hearing stuff like that is very tiring. Very, very tiring. Like, I remember when I was at the Ludwig Invitational, the one, like, the Scoffed World Tour, Last was commentating Spargo versus Mia, and I believe Last said, like, oh, yeah, no, totally, if Mia beats Spargo right now, he's definitely better. Like, he's a better Game & Watch. It's like, he's better than me just because he was gonna beat him once? I haven't beaten Spargo once, my guy. I've beaten him 4 times, dude. 4 fucking times, dude. I've beaten MK Leo, dude. I've beaten Light, Tweet, Gluto, Proto, whatever player that you can come up with. I have beaten them. I have placed second at the most important tournaments as well. Frostbite 2020, Colossal, and freaking Super Smash Con 2022, bro. I'm sorry, but it does suck to see people discredit my work like that. If Mia ends up becoming a better Game & Watch than me or not, I could care less. I care more about being a top 3 player than a top 1 Game & Watch. But what I'm trying to say with all this is that those kind of things are what, yeah, they get my motivation away. Because it's like, I've worked so hard for 4 years almost. And now people are trying to discredit it just because of recency bias. And I hate that too. I hate that too. Anyways, again, There will probably be people who will say like, "Oh no, you're just making things up," or "Oh, you're making that's ideas that you have on your own head and whatever." And I could care less. I've seen it, I've experienced it, I've lived it. You haven't, so unless you have, then you can talk to me about it like that. And if you haven't, then just don't. Because, yeah, it's not easy. It's not something easy to deal with. I have to work 5 times as hard. 5 times as harder as other players. Just for the fact that I'm not the people's champ. Or I'm not a fan favorite. Or I'm not even neutral. Like, I'm not a neutral player in the aspect of, like, oh, I don't hate him, but I don't like him, right? For me, it's straight up either people like me or people just fucking hate me. There's no in between. Yeah, that's how I feel. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll keep trying my hardest. Honestly, it's not easy. Okay? And I already have enough stuff going on in life. Like, for me to, like, have even more stuff going on in the stuff I like and love to do, which is competing and Smash and video games. But, yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.